6 shots in the magazine, 10 seconds for a full reload. Excellent mobility, but no armor whatsoever. The AMX 1357 offers exciting gameplay for World of Tanks Blitz, but what's the best way to play this tier 7 French light tank? I'm going to show you in today's video. So relax, sit back and enjoy the show. Yes, welcome back ladies and gentlemen, tankers of Blitz Universe. Good to see you all on the channel. My name is martindogger and today I will be reviewing this little butterfly, the Papillon, the AMX 1357. A tier 7 French light tank premium version which resembles an AMX 12T and an AMX 1375, but with a different gun. It's only a 57mm one. You can see it has a really long barrel, which means that the gun has decent penetration. I'm not saying it's good, it's decent, but it also only does 90 damage per shot on average. The AMX 1357 then compensates for that with a fairly large clip of 6 shots, giving you 540 average per clip. So if you can get to the sides of tanks, to the flank, then you can really wreak havoc in that regard. But it is not a tank that you can just drive and then be really successful in it, because it has no armor whatsoever. You can't just go in there and dump the clip and then run off. Full clip reload isn't that bad actually. It's about 10 seconds if you're running full provisions and full crew, etc. I'm running calibrated shells on this one as well. Don't bother with vents, it doesn't give you a lot more in terms of DPM. I'm going to enter full sets and numbers after this one using Blitz Hanger again after this match. But you can see what I'm doing here on Canal. I'm being very sneaky. I wanted to go in onto the T34-1. I do track the IS-6 in place here. And even against tier 8 tanks, well, the pen isn't bad. It's not good either, but it's not really bad. You can go to APCR if needed, because of the fact that it's a 57mm gun, which is similar actually to the Waffe on the German VK2801. It's a squeeze bore gun, which means that the round starts off as a big one and it gets squeezed down, giving it better penetration than it would have if it had been a normal breech loading, normal type of breech loading gun. But you can see if you are shooting on the move and then have to drive around and shoot the likes of a T28 here, yeah, I can pen him frontally, but it's only on the lower plate, and if I'm sitting below it, don't go for tanks head on, especially if you are in a tier 8 battle. This tank is designed to flank. It's designed to scout, to spot, to annoy reds, to go over ridges, because it is a really light tank as well. If you can pop a speed boost and go on flanks, you can do really fun stuff with it. I'm surprised actually to bump into a T28 and then only get 1 in terms of damage done, which is kind of ridiculous. But even this very small tank can just float around like a butterfly and shoot a T28 in the side, because a T28 has really good front armor, but hasn't got that good armor on its side. So I can go in and then kill him. And we've captured 3 bases, and there's just 1 KV5 left. So yeah, I'm going in, trying to get some more damage done. But this is the type of gameplay you will be having in this tank. You will flank, you will spot, preserve your hit points, and try to unload your clips on isolated tanks as much as possible. And that's true if you are against tier 8s, obviously. But it's also true if you are against tier 7s, because even against the likes of an IS, it's not a tank that does really well in terms of penetration. Like I said, we're going to do the full sets and numbers after this one. In terms of credit earning, I find a fair bit of APCR, hence the low count in terms of credits earned. But yeah, without any further ado, let's dive into stats and numbers and see how this tank compares. And we're switching back and forth using Blitzhanger and Tank Repair on Blitz Stars. Today we're going to use Blitzhanger, and if you look at the tier 7 lights, you can see already here that the DPM is not that bad. Just above 2k without anything fitted yet in terms of provisions and stuff. That's good. Hit point pool 1100, fine, 250 view range, on par with most of the tanks. And the penetration is actually the lowest of them all, but only by 1 mil compared to the AMX 3075 and only 2 compared to the Dragon, the Type 62. That one, however, has glorious heat pen. You only get 195 in terms of penetration using AP. That's really badish. If you face tanks dead on. If you're flanking, 195 will do the job, but it does lower your DPM even more to 1712 only, so it's not recommended, only if you must. Burst damage, really good in terms of the clip tanks that are available, the T71, the Bulldog and the SP1C. You get the top 540, it's really good. It has good muzzle velocity as well. It doesn't lose a lot in terms of penetration over distance. So in a way you could set this one up as a sniper tank. And the rate of fire is really good. And there it is. Reload just above 10 seconds. If you are then using the calibrated shells and the 2 provisions, let's scroll down just a bit. You can see it goes down just a little bit, just over 10 seconds. But it's fine. It's way better than the Lorraine, that's for sure. I'm using improved modules, improved optics, supercharge, improved assembly, engine accelerator, vertical stabilizers, toolbox, and the high-end consumables to give me that bit more in terms of speed boost. And then you get this. It's really, it's a fine tank in terms of gun handling and all. It just doesn't have any armor whatsoever. Effective power to weight ratio could be a bit better. Traverse speed, it's yeah, not brilliant, but it's not a tank that's designed to go around other tanks and you get out on a well, how do you call it, into a one-on-one, into a dogfight, into a circle of death. But if you get this type of angling on your front plate, which you can do with the tank, you can see if you go back over hills and ridges, that front plate might bounce the occasional shot. And even the turret might bounce occasional shots because of angling and funny shapes. But that front plate, it's the same as with the Batchat, it's the same as with the AMX 1375. You can get really sneaky bounces if you are behind ridges and then pull back. Don't count on it at all, because it's not reliable, but that's about the only thing you will bounce shots with. So, is it good for peekaboo? Blitzhanger says it has it, but I don't think so actually, because you need 6 seconds to fully reload your entire clip. So 540, that's good, but it's a really sneaky one. It's like a mosquito, like a butterfly indeed. Float like a butterfly, sting like a bee. And like I said, the only problem you will really have with the stinging is the penetration on AP and APCR. But that lowish penetration number only becomes a real problem if you're trying to face tanks head on. In a tier 8 battle, don't even try to bother. IS-5s, IS-3 defenders, IS-3s, IS-2SH, that IS tsunami flood of tanks over there in tier 8, tier 7, 8. You just can't, it doesn't work. It really doesn't work. You can't cope with them. Even against this tank, you see T-34-1. If he's ever so slightly angled, I will bounce shots. Against an IS-5, you have to be on the flanks and then shoot him on the lower hull side, because of the spaced armor you will lose just a little bit of penetration. It doesn't catch, because space armor catches heat shots, but it also lowers the penetration numbers on AP and APCR, because your ammo has to cut through that space armor and then it reaches the primary armor, and the penetration then left is the actual penetration number on it. So go to flanks, shoot them through the drive wheels if possible to track them for your teammates, shoot them in between the road wheels on the lower hull sides. On the backs, really funky. because you've got that autoloader, you will do module damage, you might set tanks on fire. It's going to be really fun. But it's a tank that has to be driven around like a mosquito, like a cockroach, like any sneaky, annoying little type of beast that you can think of. Float like a butterfly, sting like a bee. And you can see what I'm doing here to this poor little tiger, and I didn't want to bother really shooting any of the other tanks, so I've decided to park myself here. The Vindicator then shoots, he's getting face-tapped by a KV-1S and then getting shot by an SU-100Y. And that means I can start working on the next target. And I'm not picky, I'll just take this one. Hello Tiger, you are on fire by me. I can bounce a shot and then shoot you again. And I have 3 shots left. So I'll start work on the E2, track him in place, and then we'll just move around again. Merry-go-round. It's a really fun tank to play actually. And I haven't mentioned the price tag yet. And what I'm going to say here may sound familiar to those who have watched my review yesterday of the Lorraine 40T. Is it worth the money? No, just not. I mean, 10k of gold for a tier 7 premium tank, even with this amount of fun. Nah, don't buy it yet. If you want it, sorry Wargaming, I know you give me a press account, but I'm going to be honest here, 10k? Get wrecked, really. If you want to have it, by all means, buy it, go get it. It's really fun to play it, and especially if, like on this match on Himmelsdorf, the match unfolds into situations that are really tailor-made for this AMX 1357. I'm getting brilliant help from the Helsing on this match, but 10k of gold for tier 7? Nah, you can get an 8015A and a Panther M2 for it and have just about as much fun. The reason I'm engaging this AMX 12T here now is because I realized he was below 540 hit points, which means I can dump my entire clip into him and kill him. Thank you very much Helsing for putting shots into him as well. And it's going to happen a lot more. I've got 501 damage done, nothing blocked yet, but we've captured A now, so we're moving in. All of the team is behind me. There's a few tanks at B cap, and I am going to run a massive flank on this game. Because it is a tank to go flanky flanky, sneaky sneaky, and unload full clips into enemy tanks if possible. 1 shot, 2 shots, 3 shots, 4 shots, then he gets away from Helsing. And I can put my 4th shot into him and get my 2nd kill, which is just lovely. It's the same maybe as the Lorraine. It's a bit of a finisher. It's a bit of a tank to soften up enemy targets. I'm already planning to engage that SU-100Y because he was at 305. He's now at 127. 1 shot, 2 shots. There we go. And I quickly reload again, as you can see. And within 10 seconds I'm reloaded. They are all on B cap. I can move around here. I'm reloaded now. Shall we capture D? No, we are way ahead in terms of tanks and in terms of victory points. We've got C captured. Right, I'm just gonna roll around. Next target, MT25. Shoot him once. Miss. Launch myself. Shoot him again. He gets whacked. Left on 1. Thank you very much. Quickly reload. This was a really fun game. I had tons of fun playing in this tank. But like I said, 10k of gold, just no. And another shot into him, and I can dump my full clip into the AMX M445. And I was thinking, well, I'm gonna shoot him again. I should have waited just a few seconds, and then I would have had 5 kills. But we can now roll in, go onto the Tiger B, track him in place. There we go, merry-go-round. 1 shot into him, through the side, to the engine deck, and another shot in. And then he gets down to a 1 shot for me, and I can kill him for 2. 2k damage done. 5 kills. Can we get the last one as well? Oh yes, thank you very much for shooting that KV2. That leaves him on 482 hit points, which means I can clip him. Clip of the week. There we go. 6 kills. Just 1 shot away from a Rosenii in the AMX 1357, but a really fun game, and this one granted me a mastery, pulse medal, high caliber, 2.5k damage, not brilliant damage, but yes, Mr. Helsing, really well played. Thank you very much, couldn't have done it without you. So, quick summary for this one, the AMX 1357. 6 shots means 540 in the clip, and go to flanks. Pick off isolated tanks. Sit back in the beginning, do some spotting for your team if needed, if possible. Retain your hit points and just be annoying. Dump a clip, relocate, shoot another tank, live to fight another day. That's it, the review for today, AMX 1357. My name is martindogger. Thank you very much all for watching. Subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll catch you all on the next one. Cheers and happy tanking!